So the guy that plays, or said he was Michael Arnfeld from Suspect Zero, sounded just like him. Anyway. One at a time and... Alright. Or the interception, whatever it was. Alright, so then... I think it was after I reported my car stolen to Alpharetta Police Headquarters, or switched, or borrowed, or whatever. Guitar shows up at my apartment. Robert Michael Hodes Jr., who says he's here for an interview. And I'm going, I didn't apply to anything. What do you mean interview? Doesn't tell me. On and on about blah, 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 blah. I asked him to leave. Of course he doesn't leave. He says, I'm in law enforcement. I'm like, looking at him like he's crazy because I already talked to him in headquarters and he was in a uniform and I'm like pretty sure you were in law enforcement. Why do you think I told you like that my car was stolen? Anyway, doesn't leave. I tell him it's my apartment. I say I live by myself. Could you please leave? No, didn't leave. So he doesn't understand the word no. I don't know what he hears when I say no come out of my mouth. Every time I leave this situation, the fucked up shit, he shows up at the door, invites himself in, back into the life, and his roommate is a man that looks like a woman. I don't want to talk about it. He swears he's not gay. I'm like, whatever, dude. Whatever. So, right. Well, he won't leave. He doesn't have an answer. That's his name. I call him Guitar, or I should call him a guitarist, whatever. So you want to hear the story about the guitar? So, it was like a hunter or a woodsman went into the woods, and he fell in love with this woman. He thought it was like a forest sprite or something. The shape of her body. But he can never find her again. And he starts looking for this woman. So his, I've heard several versions of the stories. I'm just going to go. His, wifey decided to make him. Well, he felt like he's making this thing out of the wood. So he whittled away the shape of this woman's body out of a carving of the wood. And his, whatever, significant other's going, well, that's great. What's that there? It looks like a woman to me. And he said, well, I found this forest sprite, and she's so pretty. And she's going, yeah. So the wifey turned the little carving into an instrument called the guitar. And she says, that's your guitar. You can play this one, but you can't play this one anymore. So she sends him out the door with his little instrument that has a hole. I call him guitarist, whatever. That's me. Someone who needs a female slave to play. Most people call them pimps. Alright, so then after I move apartments, he shows up at the new apartment with two whores that I hate and inefficient and kind of, I don't know what happened. Apparently we were married or not married again, and Allie and Wendy are sitting there, and I don't know what's going on. Drugged and whatever again. Asked him to leave, don't want to marry the motherfucker. I don't even know if we're married. He does it all the time. I think he's living with a fake Tara named Robin Rogers. That's a man. So anyway, let's talk about my pets. The pets. First cat that I had was Hipo Juliet. I named her Hipo. It means hiccup in Spanish. We had a little visitor stray cat named my stupid witch that raised me named Romeo. So I middle named Hipo Juliet. So her name was Hiccup Juliet, or Hipo Juliet. When I went to college, I got her, I guess, maybe 3rd or 4th grade. She was pretty old when I went to college. So I went to college, and I lived with Mark Goodson on Astor Street in Baton Rouge instead of the dorm. And Tita said, the woman that raised me said I could keep the cat with me. So she brought me the cat. Excuse me. Except not long after that, she started losing all her hair. And I see Tita walking around the neighborhood. So I'm fairly certain she just killed my cat. I took her to the LSD vet place, and she just died in my arms. So it would just come out of my face. So then Mark got a dog, Dixie, from like friends of his parents. Couldn't keep it in because the dog would pee on the lady's husband or boyfriend's shoes. Dalmatian. She was a good dog. I didn't like her. We broke up. Mark kept the dog. Then eventually I got a dog, Hugarian Kuvasz, from a breeder in in Clearwater, Florida. He was the cutest little thing ever. Scribble Gabriel, sweet, gentle, protective. I loved him to death. The only thing was, I worked in Disney for Orlando for 3 months, a college program. 3 months. 3 months. And Loretta said she would watch him, my dumbass little sister, for 3 months. This is no big deal. Throw some water and food at the dog, and he's fine. Keep him outside for 3 months. She calls me after 2 months and says she can't take care of him anymore. He's shedding too much. She doesn't want to vacuum his hair up anymore. And I'm like, Loretta, he doesn't shed. Are you feeding him? Are you fucking feeding the dog? I begged her to take him to the border or to call the breeder and just have the breeder or go take him to the breeder. Back to the breeder. That was the deal. If I couldn't take the dog, the breeder had to take him. So they said they gave him away to someone, and I don't know. I think the breeder actually got him back because, long story. Anyway, idiots. So anyway, then the next dog I get is Maggie May Sadie Fox. Just orangish, brownish, kind of mutt, lab mix or something or other. She's a sweet dog too. Very gentle, very protective. She never used to bark. And all of a sudden, she just started barking. I guess we had to teach her to bark or something. I don't know. She would not ever say a word. Not do anything. Not say a word. Just run around the house. That's weird. She died at the kennel. We just have this yearly mandatory fox family vacation in Florida. And Wendy put her dogs at the place I used to go to with Maggie, but her dog pees on my fucking dog's bed. So I was not about to let my dog stay with her dog again. So I go different border. Wendy said she was going back there again, and I'm like, fine, we'll go somewhere else. So we go somewhere else, and I didn't tell anyone where we were going. I had to put emergency number down. I almost put Aaron's down, but Aaron's going to call Tita anyway. So I put Tita down thinking there's nothing going to happen to her. She said she would call me first anyway. So I get a call saying Maggie doesn't want to eat. And I'm like, well, that's weird. She doesn't even have a problem eating. And she likes those little, she had some arthritis, little chewy thingies. I think she said she was eating those fine, but she wouldn't eat. But because Tita had stopped by and brought her some food, and I said, no, I told you to feed her the food you have there. I didn't want to open the bag. I didn't want to leave it open for a week while we're gone or lug it to the boarding place. I just bought a bag. She just ran out. I didn't tell Tita where I was boarding her. Why was she there with food? She said, I don't know. So the next morning, early, we get a call, and Maggie passed away in the middle of the night. And I'm like, great. Nobody ever believes me about this woman or this stupid idiot that raised me. Ever. So Maggie's gone. Kids are upset. She should have had 2 or 3 more years in her. There's no way she should have died. She wasn't sick. So I get time goes by and we get a dog from the Cobb County Shelter. They named him Prince. He was a Dalmatian pointer mix, black and white. So I named him Prince Charming because he was from Madison, about to get a divorce. I figured she needed a dog. That dog was crazy. He wasn't crazy. He was just so energetic. I'd walk him 3 times a day. He loved playing out in the backyard. Madison couldn't handle that. He's way too strong for her, so I had to find another home for him. I was very sad. I liked him a lot. So, meantime, Madison already got a cat, Blackberry, from the Fulton County Shelter. Her name was Micaela from the shelter. Micaela is her middle name.